about a little bit about the IB program and why you choose IB over traditional, or how did you decide that?
So what I like about IB is it really challenges the kids academically. I mean, I had been an AP teacher. I had taught every other level. I had taught 3 different subject areas. And theory of knowledge is sort of my wheelhouse. It's the thing that I always wanted to do. It covers a lot of different subject areas. I've taught math, social studies, English, so it was nice having all that. And teaching a class where I get to talk about everything, and it's very conceptual, so it allows the kids to really kind of just explore ideas and watch TED Talks, read essays and stuff. It's not very scripted by the book or anything.
Right, very cool. All right, my turn. Question, I asked you about IB, so I want to tell you about the AP program. So the AP program, College Board really wants every kid to try to do a college level class, because it's not going to hurt them to take a college level class, and they can transfer that up when they go to college. And so even if they don't pass the AP exam, they have that level and that challenge that they had, and they can apply that to a college course that they take. And so what I really like about it is that I can challenge them in that class, and I can give them the grade in the class as a high school student, and then the AP exam is how they score as if it was a college level class. And so they can compare the 2 grades. And College Board really tells us to actually do that, and they want as many kids in the program as possible, because it's not going to hurt them. It's going to actually challenge them to do better in college. So if they don't get that 3 in AP Biology, which is what I teach, then they take the biology course at the college again, and they have the information that I have given them, and it makes them do that much better in their biology class in college. All right, so we have Ryan Haczynski, who is the IB teacher at Strawberry Crest with me, and I am the AP biology teacher. And so tell me a little bit about what you do at Strawberry Crest.
Before we get there, I just want to admit that I was defeated by you in darts, so it's on video. It was close, though. I was getting some bulls at the end.
So AP wins round 1.
AP wins round 1. So at Strawberry Crest, I have a kind of specialized job. I teach theory of knowledge, which is a capstone course for all of the kids. They take it, it spans their junior and senior year. So they take it second semester junior year, and I have them calendrically across the front of senior year for the first semester. And theory of knowledge is trying to get them to connect all the stuff that they've learned throughout their journey, their academic journey. So it really revolves around 8 areas of knowledge and 8 ways of knowing, and it gets kids to think critically about the production of knowledge, what it is, what it means to know things. It's kind of, the central question is, how do you know? That's really what it's asking. And I also am the extended essay coordinator. So there are 3 key pieces that IB students have to complete, one of which, the theory of knowledge course. They also have to do an extended essay, which is a 4,000-word paper on a research topic of their choice. And then they also have to do CAS, which is creativity, action, and service. So they have to do, I forget the exact amount, I think it's like 150 hours of service that they have to do from projects, all different kinds of things, volunteerism. It ranges across a lot of different domains.
So it's a really excellent program, the International Baccalaureate program, and it's a real gemstone in Strawberry Crest's cap, you could say, a feather in their cap. And we attract a lot of really strong students with that program. And so it's really interesting how you're saying that it wraps around 2 different grade levels, right? And so my program, I teach AP Biology, and one of the reasons why I really like that program, and we were talking about it earlier, is that we get to have students challenge themselves with college level curriculum, but they're still high school students. And so in the class grade, they're graded as high school students, but when they get an opportunity to test out basically with the AP exam, and a lot of colleges recognize the college course if they get a 3, a 4, or a 5 in that course. And so a lot of times the IB students that are in IB biology, they also will try to take the AP exam also to score those 3, 4, 5s, and that helps our school out a lot also.
Yeah, we had great rates last year. We had 97% pass the IB program, but we had a tremendous showing in the AP program because so many of them, there's overlap, and the seniors, they'll take them just on a voluntary basis. They don't have to take them. Many of them choose to just sit for the exam because a lot of the content that you guys cover in AP, they're getting in IB bio as well. And the same thing, if they get the high achieving score, they also get the college credit for their IB classes too. So there is some overlap, but it definitely helps to get them, both assessments, because then they really have something to prove to show when they can pass both of these high level, high stakes tests.
So the AP program is more of you can choose your classes a la carte. So they can take 0 AP courses in high school and still graduate, or they can take 1, 2, 3 and try to show a college that they are willing to challenge themselves and show that they can do college level work. In the IB program though, usually you enter your freshman year or even earlier at some middle school level, but you should stay in it to earn the IB diploma. So tell me a little bit about that situation.
So there's an elementary program. I don't know which schools have the elementary, the EYP, the MYP, the middle years program is at Williams Middle Magnet. And so we do have some students who come from that program. We do get a lot of kids though from places like Randall and some others as well that are in the county. When they come in as freshmen, they're technically not in the IB program. So the 9th and 10th grade part of the program is the pre-IB track. It's actually a lot of classes to get them prepared for the work that they have to do. Once they start junior year, they enter what's called the DP, the Diploma Program. And so we have a big ceremony. It's a big deal. All the parents come. They get pinned. They get their IB pin. And they start that track. So junior and senior year is really the meat of the IB program, where they're getting all those classes, and some of them do span 2 years where they just continue on, but just at the next level from, say, history that they start. Well, history is not a good example because they take A-Push, because we don't have, being that it's a global curriculum, there's not a focus on the U.S. history, so they take A-Push 11th grade, and then they take the HL history. But if they're in English, for instance, they start off, they're all in HL, which is the high level. And so they take junior year, they take English, and then just carry on in senior year, and it's almost a continuation of the same, but they cover different material and everything. They may switch teachers too.
It's really an amazing program, but it's also a super rigorous program. And so students sometimes decide that they cannot make the time commitment and they want to do something different in high school, and sometimes they decide that I can probably get some similar coursework by taking AP classes. So sometimes around junior year, I have a student that decides that the IB program is not for them. And so they join my class, my AP bio class, and I love them because they have been trained so well by you guys, and they're ready to go. Like the workload is easy for them because they're so used to the workload that the IB students get. And so I'm very appreciative of getting these students from the IB program. But also, not only are you an IB teacher and also the CTA rep, all right, the Classroom Teachers Association rep for our school, but also you have a podcast that you do. Can you tell me a little bit about your podcast also?
Yeah, so it just started 2 months ago. It's called Teacher Voice. And what I was really trying to do when I started, there's a lot. Anybody who's watching this who lives in Florida knows that education is certainly facing challenges from the legislature here in Tallahassee. We get a lot of unfunded mandates and things that roll downhill. We're very lucky to work at a great school like Crest, where I think our principal does such a great job, and the whole admin team of keeping a lot of that out of our faces. But I really was interested in getting people to talk about the issues. So other teachers, administrators, parents, education stakeholders of all stripes, really. And so the website, www.teacher-voice.com, it's a combo blog and podcast. So it's not a vlog like this where we actually talk on camera. I'm old school and have a mic and I just interview people. But I write blog posts of 500 words in length because they can be published as op-eds. And I'm really looking for teachers to join and just write posts, or if they just want to come in, like I would love to talk to teachers about cool things. It sounds like you have awesome things going on in your AP bio classroom. I'd want to hear about like the innovative and cool things you're doing with your kids, or any teacher. That I think, to me, just we're underappreciated, I think, as a public service, person. I mean, teachers are doing a public service. We care about our kids. We care about the future.
Right.
And this is why we do the job. And I think that so much of that is taken for granted by
people don't know what we're doing either.
No, yeah.
They don't know because it's closed off. So what I started doing this year is I really wanted to get myself out there and share. And so I really put myself under the microscope by inviting people into my classroom. I started a YouTube channel for my classes. One reason why is because if a student misses, like today, this was solar eclipse day, and so I had a third of my attendance was there today, and 2/3 were absent almost in every class. So the students can log into my YouTube channel and see the content that they missed, but also it's an opportunity for other teachers in the district to see what I'm doing that's different. And this year I'm trying to do something very different where I'm trying to develop a rapport with the students so they have super buy-in in the class, and they actually get to control and create the content. So I'm going to be looking over the content with them, but they're actually creating the content for the channel. So the district already has the curriculum all mapped out, very similar to IB. The curriculum is mapped out for IB in a lot of cases.
Yes.
It's the same thing for AP. It's mapped out already. So I have the curriculum, and I tell the students, look, part of the curriculum is reading this page in the book, so why don't you read it and share what you think you got out of it, and then we'll critique it in class. And that way they get to create the content. I mean, how do you learn the best? By teaching. Who's the smartest person in the class? Not because I took biology 20 years ago, all right, which half of it has been erased and rewritten, okay? Yeah. And the new content is in the textbooks now. They're teaching it, and the best way to learn is to teach it. I'm the best in the class because I've taught it for 10, 15 years, and it's like I'm resuscitating the textbook. This year I'm letting the kids take ownership of the curriculum and to teach it themselves and share it with the students, and they get to help each other out to develop the content.
And and this, generationally speaking too, what you're doing is spot on for what the millennials need and the post-millennials, because they are big on collaboration. They are big on working together. Next week, for instance, we just started our process. There are 2 main assessments in TOK, one of which is an essay. And so we're just starting to talk about the essay. Next week, I'm giving them old prompts, and the kids are going to actually take, just large pieces of chart paper. They're going to brainstorm for about 10 minutes with their peers, talk about ways they could possibly approach the prompt, and then they're going to get up, and I want them to get in front of the kids and teach the rest of the class. Like, hey, these are some ideas we thought about. Here's some knowledge questions, so on and so forth. Because I agree. I think when, we know that sit and get doesn't work, you know, and so we need kids to be active, to be engaged. One of the things I try and do every day is after they think and write, I just have them do a lot of talking because, they're so social, and I think giving them that outlet allows them to explore ideas in ways that they wouldn't otherwise do necessarily if they're just sitting there and trying to write down notes and pay attention to what you're saying. So, I mean, it sounds like what you're doing is really what this generation needs.
Right. And this is the way that they get content.
Yeah.
My own daughter, instead of playing a game like Minecraft on the computer, will watch someone play Minecraft for an hour, and I'm telling her, what are you doing? Just go play that game. What are you doing? So this generation, really, they get it. I mean, they're a YouTube generation.
Absolutely,
and they've all dreamt about being YouTubers. They said, Mr. Tyler, you're a YouTuber, and they're so excited about it. And I said, no, you guys are YouTubers because you're going to be helping to make the content. I'm just super excited about it. And again, this podcast is about sharing what I do, what you do. And so another thing that I've just translated into this year is trying to be super positive about the things that I'm excited about. And so I actually invited you to join me because I don't think I've met a more positive person than you at our school. And so I tapped him real quick. On the first day of school, what did you wear the first day of school that I called you over right away?
So I had on, my wife and I got we renewed our vows, not remarried, but we renewed our vows, and we did so in Hawaii this year to celebrate our 10th anniversary. And so what I was wearing was the actual Hawaiian shirt that I wore to the ceremony, and I had on a kukui nut lei, which is in the traditional Hawaiian sense, they would actually exchange these nuts that grow on trees. They're very plentiful all over the island. And it was actually something only the royalty did. And instead of exchanging rings, we did our own vows, and then we exchanged our kukui nut leis. And so
very cool.
I wanted to just share with the kids, because of the calendrical nature of the class, it wasn't really day one because they were coming back.
Right.
I already knew them, so I just basically shared about 20 pictures, told them a little bit about it, and then I turned it over to them and just said, "What cool things did you guys do?"
And what did you have them do?
They
What did they
basically-
wear on the first day?
I gave out leis, so everybody did it. We got in the aloha spirit because it's the senior semester is very stressful for a lot. The first senior semester was really tough in the IB
Right.
program, so I said we're gonna start off with some aloha. You know, aloha people think is just like hello and goodbye, but
Right.
that's right, throw up the shaka. But it's much more about that. It's really like, well, it's sending someone a well wish. You know, it's love, it's compassion, it's
Right.
a lot of things that kids need. I mean, they don't. You know, we as teachers, I think the most important job we do is to be encouragers, to
Right.
really just like nurture their
Right.
dreams. It's
Exactly.
like, what is it that you want to do? Don't listen to the mediocrity. Just go for it.
And
know?
you had the students wear Hawaiian shirts.
Yes,
on
and a
day
lot of
one,
them.
right?
That's because I sent a message on Remind. I'm like, hey, if you have any Hawaiian shirt or anything that's floral or beachy themed. So
And they
almost
did
all
it.
the kids, yeah, it's a
lot
small,
did it.
tight-knit group, yeah, and I would say at least 85 of the 98 kids
And
had something on.
So when he told me that story, because I saw that he was wearing the beaded necklace, and I asked him about it. I think that day, I'm not sure if it was that day or a different day, but a different day for a podcast, I was wearing a necklace too. So I told my
Yes, that's
wife,
right.
look, I'm not the only guy that's wearing a necklace. I was wearing it for a sponsor for this podcast, and so I bumped into him, and I'm like, I have to take a picture with you. Because we're just being super positive and using our story. This is all about
Yeah.
telling our story to inspire the students to achieve their greatness. And that's what it's all about. And so I tapped this guy to join me in a program called Teacher Illustrators
I hope you get to this.
at Strawberry Crest High School, where I told them that I was going to fund the entire program. There's a salary supplement that I'm offering. And right
very
on the
lucrative.
contract, there's a penny that I tape right onto the front of the contract. And I asked them just to do one more positive thing that they would normally do during the day, whether it is pick up a piece of garbage, just be inspiring to a student, to just give a compliment to a colleague or help a colleague. That's it. And so I knew that he was my guy right away.
So I have to tell you about the picking up the trash thing. My first job in 9th grade was picking up trash in our town's parks up in Cumberland, Rhode Island. And I've always been a fan of picking up trash. And when I saw that, I know that sounds weird, and when I saw that on your list, and I'm usually pretty good, but every day since I signed that thing, if I see a piece of paper or
pick it
whatever,
up.
I pick it up. And I was walking with another teacher, and my wife would do the same thing, like, "Ooh, you're picking
What are
up
you doing? Yeah,
garbage?" And
gross.
it's like, "No, it's fine. I'll wash my hands. I'll
Yeah,
be good."
hand sanitizer.
So ever since I signed that, now if I see a
Yep.
piece of trash, I'm picking it up
And I'm
without
sure
fail.
Mr. Brown appreciates that too.
And we have a
because I
clean
see him
school.
doing that. Yeah, we do. We're very lucky. They keep our school run really smooth. Well, we're coming to the end of the podcast, and I'm so appreciative that Ryan came out and joined me. We got to play some darts head to head, AP versus IB. I just appreciate it so much.
I appreciate
and
it,
please
too.
check out his blog also. One more time.
At Teacher Voice, www.teacher-voice.com, or you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/OneTeacherVoice, on Twitter, @OneTeacherVoice. Any of those you can find us. Thanks so much. Thanks,
you.
Jesse.
You got it.